was talking on the phone the other night to my homeboy I was upstate with, and we were talking about how prison actually is a psychological trauma and how we're psychologically damaged from spending time in prison. And the average person is not even conscious of this matter until one starts to really think and reflect on how they're psychologically traumatized from spending their time in a 12 by 12 cell day in, day out, especially if you've been to the RHU, which stands for Restrictive Housing Unit, aka the Hole. You know, I'm definitely traumatized, and I believe that I'll be traumatized for the rest of my life. This is something that I won't be able to get over. For example, words that we say, words are powerful. And we say what we mean what we say. However, some people aren't conscious of the words that they say till after the fact of the matter. Example, I'm at work the other night, and we have a cafeteria at work, for the staff. So I asked somebody, yo, what do they have in the chow hall tonight? What they cook? People looked at me and said, what? Did you hear what I just said? What do they have in the chow hall? I played it off. I said, oh, well, I mean the cafeteria. And no one really caught it except for this one guy. He was maybe in his late 40s, early 50s, and he came up to me. He said, "Hey, brother, I heard what you said. You was locked up. You was upstate. Where was you at?" I was up Smithfield, 15 years. I guess glorifying it that he'd served some time in the penitentiary. And me being a little ashamed of my reality, I say, yeah, I was in jail, man. He said, yeah, I heard you say child hall, man. I remember them days. I said, yeah, I don't really want to remember them days. I was at work the other night, actually the same night, and it's just our thinking process. We're creatures of habit, and our thought process tends to be the same regardless of where you're at, your atmosphere. I've been in jail so long, although I'm out here on the streets, you see, I'm home. Sometimes I still think as if I'm incarcerated. This is psychological trauma. Example, it was a staircase at my job. And I guess maintenance earlier that day was doing some work on the ceiling, and they left the work undone, you know, and the ceiling had like a hole in it where you can see right through it, which was supposed to be covered. But I guess they went home early. So I'm walking through the staircase. Automatically, when I seen that hole in the ceiling, what came to my mind? Oh, that'd be a good way to escape. Did you just hear what I said? That'll be a good way to escape, you know? And I'm at work. I'm home. I'm not locked up. I'm free. What am I talking about? That'll be a good way to escape. I'm traumatized. I'm traumatized. And like I said, I'll be dealing with this psychological trauma for the rest of my life. A lot of people, they basically believe that you have two sets of people, rather three sets of people. People such as myself that I do 100% believe that prison is a trauma. It'll psychologically traumatize you. It'll put you in a state, a frantic state of mind, give you anxiety, you know. And then you have another set of people who believe that prison isn't a trauma. It can't be, you know. It can't be. Then you have the other type of people that say, yeah, well, prison is a trauma, but it's a deserved trauma. You deserved it. You committed this crime. So for you to experience what you experienced behind that wall or behind that double fence, behind them bars, Deserve it. It's a deserved trauma. I agree it's a trauma, but it's a deserved trauma. No one deserves to to go through the things that I've experienced. 8 years in the penitentiary, you know, 3 of them 8 years I spent in the hole, you know, next door to one guy who is naked all day. His name was Scrappy Doo, and he'll bark like a dog. He'll smear feces all over his body. Shit, poop. He'll smear it all over his body just in case the guards came into the cell to extract him out of the cell. They wouldn't want to touch him because he smeared in poop. Also, he likes to throw poop on guards, on other inmates walking past, going to the showers, visits to the yard. So he was next door to me. And I had another guy next door to me, who was just as crazy as this guy, who also liked to throw poop. He just didn't smear it all over his body like this guy. They didn't like each other. I'm in the middle. They tried to really throw poop in front of each other's cell all day, all night, because they hated each other. Guess where the poop used to land? Right in front of my cell. Smelling that, and on top of that, they used to try to sabotage each other. If he next door thinks that he's over here sleeping, he's going to bang on his door literally 8, 10, 12 hours straight, kicking his door. And it's not a particular sound that is welcoming. You know, it'll make someone lose their mind. He barks, he screams, he kicks the door all day, all night. And then when he tires himself out, he goes to sleep. This guy knows he's asleep because he got quiet. He starts banging on his door. Wake up, motherfucker! Boom, 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 boom. That's all you hear. 12, 15 hours straight. And then when he goes to sleep, he does it. This is all day, all night. You know why? Because they've been in a hole for 10 years straight. And they got 10, 15 years to go in the hole because they can't be around other inmates. So they don't care. But I was in the middle, suffering the consequence. Why was I in the hole? It doesn't matter why I was in the hole. I didn't deserve to go through what I went through while I was in the hole. You know, I snapped on my wife the other day. I was asleep and she woke me up. She woke me up. But the way she woke me up, it wasn't, honey, wake up, you know. It was kind of hyper. She was hyper and she was excited about something and bust in the room and woke me up. Hanif, Hanif! And I woke up and I cussed her out. I was mad all day. You know, this stems from me being in prison. In prison, just imagine you incarcerated, physically incarcerated, and the only time you can literally be out here in the world is when you're sleeping, right? So someone wakes you up to bring you back to your reality after you've been on an island, laying in bed with your woman, at a restaurant, out with the kids. Guess what? Now you wake up and you're in a cell. Another man is laying on top of you, on the bunk above you, his feet dangling, they stink. You know, the cell is so small you really can't even stretch your arms. And the guards, they wake you up. They don't do it welcoming. They do it. Wake up, count time. Lights on, stand on your doors. In your cells, count time. Banging on your doors. Boom, boom, wake up. Every morning, 6 o'clock. So I used to snap on the guards and it messed my head up. Now, taking it out on my beautiful wife.